And apparently we alive. I just want to start off by saying that I am not going to argue whether or not Brady, Tom Brady that is, of the Patriots, does not have or does have the stuff to bring the Patriots to another Super Bowl, because that's obvious. And if you think otherwise, then, well, you're a fucking fool. So, that argument is over. He is the GOAT. Now, on to more important things. As you saw by the title of this particular stream, and that beautiful thumbnail that I created, I take a lot of pride in my thumbnails. We have the Grinch adorning a Bitcoin buckle, and Santa Claus. The Grinch, the Bitcoin Grinch, and the Santa Claus rally. And what do you think's going to happen? Well, if you look behind me right here, you can see where Bitcoin's going. And if you just give me a second here, we can see where the market is going. The market's going to open up in just a few short hours. 6 p.m. on the Eastern Seaboard here. And when it does, it's going to open up to a mammoth gap. And we're going to see this market march on, trudging through, all the way through into the end of this year. And where's Bitcoin going to do? It's going to be dust. Dust in the rearview mirror. There's not going to be a single fucking person that's going to give a shit what Bitcoin is doing now when they step on board of this Santa Claus rally. Yep, we're all keyed up and ready to go. And I know that there are a lot of people out there calling for the demise of this market. They're trying to talk it down, especially the talking heads on CNBC and Bloomberg. That's because they want the president to fail. They're all part of this mainstream media, leftist cabal. Yes, even the talking heads on the financial networks, especially them. When you look at Bloomberg, he's going to run for president. Fucking twat. It's not going anywhere, but that's fine. And then, of course, let's see, who else do we have? We have Michael Avenatti, creepy porn lawyer. And then we have Beto, trying to pretend he's a Mexican with a big smile. I think he's going to be the front runner. Anyways, off of politics. But that's what's going to happen. The market's going to the moon. Bitcoin's biting the dust. And that's right, Tyler. We short every friggin' rally in Bitcoin. Of course, Tone Vays is still bullish on Bitcoin. We can use Tone as a contrary indicator, or contrarian indicator. Because every time that he puts a trade out there, it fucking fails. He's a failure. It's because he doesn't trade, really. Yet he's instructing hundreds of people and collecting lots of money, giving them failing advice. I just call it the way it is. I call it how I see it. I keep it real. All Eyes just bought more Bitcoin. I feel very sad for you because you're going to lose big time. Big time. Look, if you plan on holding it, okay. Plan on holding it for at least a couple of years. Because you ain't seeing nothing. No profits. Nothing for at least that long. You might get lucky and get a little bit of a bump somewhere along the way. And you'll be really good to make sure you take that profit off the table and hope that it goes back down so that you can re-enter. But you are dust. Bitcoin is dust. Bitcoin is dead. It must die. The whales know it must die. That's all there is to it. Oh, so that is the plan. And you know, I have a very similar plan. You know, I recognize that over the next couple of years, Bitcoin's going to be in the mud. Every once in a while, it's going to try to get its head up so it can get, take another breath until it gets knocked down again. It's going to be like whack-a-mole. Every time it knocks its head up, wham! Down again. And it's going to do that until it builds some character. That's going to take a while. And while you're continuing to buy all eyes, not XRP, there's no hope for XRP. While you continue to buy all eyes and continue to go through pain after suffering and pain and more pain, I am going to be riding this market to new all-time highs. So far, above and beyond, this economy is going to expand. The GDP is going to expand. It is going to envelop. It is going to swallow up all the debt. I know, that sounds crazy. No one else is really predicting that. No one! Well, I am. That's my prediction. And I'm going to be right. Just as I'm right now, I know when this market opens, it's opening up big. Unfortunately, I only have a few contracts long right now. I took most of it off on Friday after taking massive profits off the bottom. Massive! So I only have I have actually one contract long, the Dow. And it will make good money, but I'm going to be jumping right back in. And I'm just going to keep on piling on, baby. Going to keep on piling on. You're stacking Ethereum and Litecoin. Man, I mean, how foolish can you fucking be? Really? Think about it. You're going to sit there and wallow in mud and mire when you could be riding the biggest wave in market history. That's what you're going to be missing. You're going to be putting all that hopium into crap coins and Bitcoin that are going to be trudging through the mud for the next 2 years while this market just trounces you. Why? Tell me why. It makes no sense. I mean, are you like a masochist or something? Do you think the drama on December 5th with the IG will affect the markets? No. No, I don't. Do not. You think Tim Draper's bullish outlook for Bitcoin is wrong? Oh, God. Any bullish outlook for Bitcoin right now, unless it is beyond the next couple of years, is totally wrong. Totally. Bitcoin is going to be nothing but a distant memory. Once investors start getting a hold of this market, they're going to say, Bitcoin, what? Who? What? What the fuck is that? I'm sitting here riding pretty in my hot rod. My market hot rod. They're not going to give no two shits about Bitcoin. And that's the way it's going to be. There's going to be absolutely no demand for Bitcoin. And why would there be? Why? Tell me why. If the market is screaming to all-time new highs, rallying like never before, expanding this economy beyond anything anybody could have possibly imagined, and that's what's going to happen. Why would anybody pay any attention to a magic coin? A magical coin, a unicorn coin. Why? Ask yourself that. Think deep and hard. Yeah, for some of you, I just don't know. I just don't think that there's any hope. And I don't like to rely on, well, you know, I don't rely on hope for my strategy, but I mean, what I mean is that there seems to be no hope for you people that have just placed all of this new hopium in magic coins that nobody wants. There isn't a single credible enterprise out there that's willing to stake anything on Bitcoin. There are some that are out there that are doing minor projects, and the Bitcoin or the cryptoverse looks at them as some magic thing that they're some leader in the market, but they're just hedging their bets. They're not putting any serious money into it. None of them. Just a smattering, a little peppering here and there, and that's it. It's because they cannot figure out how they're going to actually create a business model around this. The people have no idea how to use Bitcoin, and they don't even know what it is. There's just a small segment of the population that thinks that they know, of which 90% of them are totally clueless, which includes a lot of you guys out there. Pretty sure of that. Yet you're going to continue trudging down that path of misery. Misery. That's what you want. You want misery. When you could be riding the path of gold. I don't mean the physical gold. I mean the golden path of the market. It's going up. It's going up big time today. Today. Now, I don't know if anybody caught my call on Twitter the other day. Did you catch that? I think there was one or two people that had mentioned it in my Discord group. They said, "What magic you drinking, Ernie?" I called it. I said, you better go short because tomorrow Twitter's going down. And like clockwork, it went down. It's because I've got my tentacles out there. I know what's going on. And I'm telling you, at 6 o'clock today, Eastern Time, the market is gapping up. I think we're going to see maybe 3 to 5% gain this week, maybe more. 3 to 5%, think of what that is. One S&P contract will make you thousands. Many thousands. One. And you can bet I'm going to be doing many S&P 500s, S&P 400s, Dows, NASDAQs, all of them. What's the deal with this Tom Lee guy on CNBC? Well, Tom Lee, the inventor of Litecoin, or the progenitor, the, I don't know, the Litecoin daddy, who abandoned ship when the market was at its peak, cashed out with hundreds of millions of dollars, and then made everybody think that he was some kind of martyr, is still predicting that Bitcoin will hit 15,000 by the end of the year. I mean, could you be more delusional? It's just unbelievable how anybody could possibly believe Tom Lee. He's got to be a shill for something. I just don't know what it is. I can't figure him out. It could be that he was just lucky and got out of that market early, and he's just a I don't know, what would you call it? I was going to say useful idiot, lucky clown, but no, he's kind of a smart guy. So I just don't know what his deal is. Tom Lee has a heavy bag. I'm not sure exactly what that means. And all eyes, please stop talking about XRP. Piece of shit. It's not even I mean, it's so boring. Headfake says, "Hey EV, what's your take on the interest rate environment in 2019 and beyond?" Well, we already know what that is because we've heard let's see if I don't know if I have an article on this. We heard from Jerome Powell. He's the head of the the Fed, FOMC. We heard from him a complete about-face on his previous position after being pressured by the president that they really don't plan on raising interest rates anymore because they're in danger of upsetting this market, creating a flat or inverted yield curve. And every time that has been done in the past, it has resulted in a recession. Trump said, "You're going to change your ways or I'm going to kick your ass right out into the gutter." And he did. He said, "We now, surprisingly, have no plans to raise interest rates anymore." And then we have Trump meeting with Xi of China. They have no plans on continuing the trade war, at least for now. Meanwhile, getting concessions from the Chinese. We have oil that has made a beeline for the dirt, where people thought that Trump was not really punishing the Saudis, but he's punishing them, forcing them, also invigorating our shale production of oil, becoming the largest producer of oil on the planet. That's us, the U.S., the largest producer of oil on the planet. Topping off all the strategic reserves, lowering oil, lowering gas prices, lowering our energy costs. That is a massive stimulus to this economy. Combined with all this other stuff, low interest rates, certainty across with China, we are taking off in a big way. Big! No one is going to remember what Bitcoin is, and they're not going to give a shit. The Grinch. Oh, Tom Lee and Charlie. Yeah, I'm getting confused. Sorry. In all my excitement, you're right. Charlie Lee is the dickhead. Tom Lee. What is Tom Lee saying? He's probably another dick. That name Lee. Something wrong with it. Oh yeah. Tom Lee is the other crypto dickhead that gets on CNBC. They're two of the same. So Tom Lee is shilling Bitcoin at 15,000. Charlie Lee is, I don't know what Charlie Lee's doing. Ernie, I got cash on Coinbase. What exchange should I head over that accepts crypto but will let me trade futures? None. There isn't a single fucking useful exchange that will... Well, there is. There is Simple FX that will do it for you. I think Futures Online might do it. Also, although this won't allow you to easily get into futures, you can go to goldmoney.com and they'll take your crypto and give you gold. Or you can put it into a gold credit card and maybe fund an account. Just get it out of Coinbase. Get it out of crypto. Make your money work for you. Let's see here. Nah, you don't get rich in 1 week, all eyes. That's not what I'm going for. I'm just going for padding those accounts a bit, getting them that next step up, because they're just going to keep on going. I'm all in here. We're just going to keep on riding that market up. I'm looking at doubling, tripling, quadrupling accounts. That's what I want. I don't really care about Khashoggi. Means nothing to me. Sad that the guy has to get murdered, but there must have been something going on that put him at risk. And I don't know. Is he a good guy, bad guy? I never even heard of the guy before this whole incident. Such a non-issue. I mean, that's a terrible thing to say in the face of somebody, but I mean, we're not going to give up everything because of one guy. Canadian oil, I have very little thought. They have Justin Trudeau, the soy boy, and he's down on fracking. I don't know. I don't know if he's planning on... I really don't know, but they're not going to be any competition to us. We get special deals with them anyway, so it won't matter. Won't see an inverted curve soon. We're getting close, but I think that it has been stemmed. The inverted curve has been cut off at the pass. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Do I believe in astrology or prophecies? No. I'm a realist, man. Buddhist. Live in the present. I'm a scientist who only looks at things with logic, reason, and a skeptical mind. Astrology. You know, I shouldn't say I don't believe in them. There may be some tangential thing to, you know, the lining up of planets or whatever, you know, from a bigger cosmic thing. I really don't know. But, you know, there might be some truth, and maybe that's where astrology was born originally. But, you know... To think that it's going to determine, you know, what I'm going to be doing tomorrow or my personality, yeah, it's a bunch of bullshit. More magic. Astrology and Bitcoin are on the same level. AppMex is taking Bitcoin for gold too. Yep. I had heard that. But you can be guaranteed that as soon as they get the Bitcoin, they're turning it into fiat. As soon. Short Coinbase. Now, I'm pretty sure that Coinbase is going to be coming out with a an IPO soon, which is the most laughable thing that I could possibly think of in the cryptoverse. All right, let's see. Lynette Yang. That would be Lynette Zhang, actually. Were you on her show? Yes, I was. I was on her show earlier in the year, and we had a pretty good discussion. Now, Lynette thinks everything's going to a hell in a handbasket. Now, I like Lynette, and I think she's a smart woman, but I think that she's just totally wrong. Of course, she works for a company that sells gold and silver, and she's hoping like hell that people are going to be buying her gold and silver, and so she's trying to gin up the fear. That's what I think. So she's basically doing what she can to make her business survive. All I says he learned volume profile in one of my videos. It's a great tool to gauge price ranges and also to determine supply and demand, where the value is, where it isn't, where support and resistance are. I mean, it's all there. You don't even need the price chart. You don't need candlesticks. You can do you can trade completely from the volume profile. And you've added it to your arsenal. Now I see how you get your targets. Pretty cool, huh? Nick Painter, for conspiracist, Khashoggi was CIA. So you think that there was he was an operative that was out to get Trump? I'll look into that. Tyler's asking, do you think the SEC will get their hands on all the paid ICO shillers like Ian Balina and Superman eventually? They still have bigger things to go after right now. But I want you to go back and then look. Well, geez, I can't remember. Yeah, I think most of those videos are down now. The one when my channel got deleted. But for those of you who have been with me, you will have known that before 2018 rolled around, where most people were saying it was going to be the year of the ICO, I was saying, no, it's going to be the year of remittances. And what is happening today? What is happening today? The SEC is giving ICOs a choice. Either pay massive fines or remit all of the money now. There are some that are challenging them. And, you know, with good lawyers, they can probably, you know, push things down the line. But the SEC is going after them. They're all going to have to remit their money or figure out some other plan or somehow prove that they're not a security. That's right. I called it. I said that this would be the year of remittances. And that's what's happening. But Belina and Superman, they're just shills. They're in it for themselves. They're not, you know, they're not an ICO. Well, that's probably a good point there, Nick. Since this failed Fed had put the brakes on interest rates, they don't want to get blamed. Yeah, and hopefully they put the brake on interest rates soon enough. Lynette is. She is the chief strategist, I think, of what is it, ITM? I can't remember the name of the company, but I think it's ITM. Very nice woman. Liked her a lot. I had a good conversation with her. But she's wrong. Her view is why some would think Bitcoin is the doomsday coin, the coin of tribulation. Well, I know that her company and their marketing department don't want to have anything to do with Bitcoin, and they for that purpose they didn't bring me on for a second interview because they noticed that I was talking about crypto. But that was their marketing view, and they made that decision without really looking at how I was talking about crypto. And you know, I called her back up and I said, man, if they really took a look, they would see that I wasn't positive crypto. I was doing the exact opposite. But I guess for their own legal and marketing reasons, they didn't want to have anything to do with crypto. So they are completely, they don't even talk about it anymore. Yeah, that's the other thing. Khashoggi's not even a U.S. citizen, so fuck him. Who cares? I know that's horrible to say about somebody that was murdered, but still, why should we care? As U.S. citizens, why should we fucking care? Chris W. says, so if cats with limited funds, is it better to ignore the latest futures calls and just go long S&P 5? No, I'm not saying that. Don't do what I'm saying. Look. Let me just say this. You're referring to my service. The service, I am still playing the service 100%. I'm just saying that I do multiple strategies besides just the service too. So I'm heavily long and I'm doing what the service does. So when I say the service, we're talking about the AI setups, the artificial intelligence service that I run with my partner. So that is one of my primary strategies. Now, but if the question is, do you take most of your money and just put it into S&P's longs? First of all, I can't give any advice. I'm only telling you what I am doing. I am not qualified or licensed. Actually, I equate the two. When you're not licensed, you have to say you're not qualified to give advice, investment advice. Did you hear Floyd Merriweather got fined a couple of million for promoting crypto? I did hear that. Too bad. 2018 year of the ICO. Ha ha ha, laughing out loud, says Raziel. I remember people spewing that crap back in January as if 2017 wasn't already a great year for ICOs. Christ does greed make people incredibly stupid. Robert Leonardo says, I listen to her shows. My church is similar to hers, I think. We see doom. I don't know why you see doom. Where's the evidence for doom? I just don't see it. I'm having a really hard time seeing any doom. I just don't see it. I'm trying. All the economic reports are fantastic. The economy is expanding. Unemployment is great. All the people that were off the unemployment rolls are now starting to come back onto the employment rolls. And that's going to continue and continue. At some point, we're going to expand so much that we're going to contract a little bit because we don't have enough people. And then we're going to start really enforcing those immigration laws and start really choosing the right people to come in. So I don't use a one-day chart. A one-day chart? You mean like a daily bar chart for Bitcoin? All Eyes is asking me about using volume profile with Bitcoin. How far back do you go to get the 2.5 target? I go as far back as I need to go. You know, I look at a year and a half, 2 years worth of data. But you don't have to go really beyond a year and a half. That pretty much shows you everything you need to see. May of 17, yeah, that's about right. Shows strong support there when I look between that range and May of... Well, like I said, my next target was 2,500, and then from there, 2,200, and then there's a big gap from there down to, I don't know, 1,200 or something. Well, thank you, Head Fake. Zzz. Like your show, keep it real. Sub, thumbs up. Like to hear that. We are still taking losses in Afghanistan. Yeah, that's sad. They're small, though. I don't want to trivialize it. Robert Leonardo says, okay, my Steeler posse is here to watch Tommy B get sacked and whacked. Gotta go. Yeah, I don't think so. The Patriots will get better and better and better as the season goes on. Once they get beyond the Vikes, it's going to be smooth sailing. So Nick's saying that the doomers are bringing up the housing market. 7 months of declining sales, I think. There's some truth to that. Let me see. I'll bring up the relevant chart. Just hold on. Hold your horses. Hold on. There it is. I know that yesterday there were bad numbers. Not yesterday. Thursday there were. Was it Thursday there were bad numbers? I think it was Thursday. Where was it? I'm not seeing it now. I got to put my glasses on. Wholesale trade, consumer sentiment, employment situation. That was Friday. It doesn't appear to be on this. Maybe if I look on Forex Factory. Chicago PMI. Where did I see this? When was it? Natural gas. Pending home sales. There it is, right there. At 10 a.m. on, what was that, Thursday? We had pending home sales were down quite a bit. Let's see. Can we get a... Now, why isn't that on this guy here? That's weird. It's not on the Econo Day one, but it's on the Forex Factory one. Pending home sales. Another very ugly U.S. housing market. I think a lot of that is probably due to the fact that housing rose so much in the past year too. And then, of course, the Fed was doing their best to destroy the housing market by raising interest rates. I want to get a graph, if I can find a graph. But unfortunately, Econo Day is not doing that. Pending home sales and new home sales. Maybe I should just search for that. Pending home sales chart. Yeah, it's pretty much been a down year. I'll bring that over so you can see. Here's a chart for pending home sales. That doesn't look great over this past year. And then a rather large drop in October. Now, that can't be good. There's no doubt about that. But every other part of the market seems to be doing okay. But home sales, they're a big part of the market. And I would say that most of that is probably attributed to the work that the Fed's been doing. A lot of people are looking at this and saying, man, interest rates are rising. A lot of people got in early last year, or the end of 2016, beginning of 2017. That's when most everything happened. And people were refinancing, and they were saying, man, just got to lock in. And then the Fed, ever since Trump got in office, they've been just going nuts, trying to push rates up. It's insidious. I think it's political, too. Gold bugs are no different than Satanists. Ernie, why do all the pot stocks rise and fall all in the same pattern? Because they're all basically doing exactly the same thing, and most of them are in the same country. Also, in your opinion, why is Tilray, that's TLRY, so much higher in price than all the others? Well, price doesn't have anything to do with it. It's what their valuation is. And they are a good company. They are extremely overvalued like the rest of them. So I see, as a group, their price is going to continue to go down. As a matter of fact, I do have a chart here for pot stocks, too. All right? I want to point out that this drop here, right here, I called that. You go back and look at my videos. I said to the day, I said that day, pot stocks are going to crash. And now here's my my outlook for pot stocks. I believe that the MJ, which is the pot ETF, is going to get down in the mid-20s again, and possibly lower. And it's not until the U.S. starts waking up and we have more states and then we get some federal clarity on pot laws that we're going to see this market start turning around. But I think that now is a good time to start educating yourself on these stocks and also what's happening in the individual states across the country, and take some maybe matters into your own hand and learn a little bit more about cannabis and pot, which is not a bad thing. Bitcoin bubbles. The cost of these wars in years after with veterans is completely avoidable. Sometimes I wish there were U.S. military budget futures. I would be a permabull, long and rich. So I have to go back and look at and see the context of that comment, because that seemed like an just kind of a random comment. But up here, Bitcoin Bubble says, John OG, I would say prolonged wars are our biggest problem. And you're probably referring to the Afghan stuff, right? Yeah. So all of that I agree with. Spook says, hey, Ernie, I think opening up with a catchphrase can help your channel. Is that what it's going to do? That'll make all the difference in the world, a fucking catchphrase. I mean, and what should that catchphrase be? A good catchphrase for you is, you came for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. That's not bad. It's not bad. You came for the truth? I'm going to smack you down with it. That would be more my style. Let me peel back the onion layer so you can see the truth. No, I'm more like whack-a-mole. Truth! Boom! 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 Nick is saying, once employers pay employees more to catch up to inflation, home sales issues should fix. But that might take a long time. I think that that's going to happen. Wages are going to expand. More people are going to enter the force. There's going to be more people that will be able to afford homes, and that will all fix itself. The economy will expand, all of that. Yeah, diesel pilot, that's exactly what I said. Higher interest rates is putting the brake on home sales. I'm in Southern Cal, and home sales are way down. Yeah, you know, Southern Cal, that's a tough place to live, especially if you want to be near the water. There's just no room. I mean, all the houses in every neighborhood, on every hill, they're all like crammed right next to each other. It's horrible. And they're expensive as hell. Chris W. says it should be, eat shit, you pundits. Yeah, that's something else I would say. But I don't know if that's the way I should, start the whole show off. But I do like it. Peter Angel is saying, he's chiming in, the USA is losing economic dominance and political influence to China. What fucking planet are you living on, man? That is so wrong. I mean, sure, if you listen to the media, the news media, which is feeding you a total line of bull, they want you to believe that somehow we must look up to China. But they're not. They are hurting big time. China, take my word for this, China is hurting big time. They are kowtowing to Trump. They're trying to save face, and Trump is trying to allow Xi to save face. There's a big game going on there. If the economy is going to keep expanding, Ernie, what will be the cause if and when the market does crash? I don't see that happening under Trump's reign anyways, but what possibly could be a black swan? Probably a war, some terrorist event, maybe. I don't think that would really stop the economy, and I don't really see that happening for quite some time. So that's one of those things that's so far out, and it could be so many things, but I don't know. I really don't know. It all depends on what happens after Trump. Because he is going to get in for a second term. There's no doubt. Oh, it's 4:20, so it's rosin time? All right, I'll take you up on that. All right. All right. You see that? I just turned it off. Now I'm going to turn it on. Oh. Now it's on. That's Ernie's backyard sherbet. That's what I was growing out back. But I've got a whole slew of things in there. You got artifacts right shoulder, Ernie. Oh man, look at that. That would be over here, huh? I think what we need to do let's do that. Let's see if that took care of it. Yeah, it's too many let's see if we can take care of this. Out of the wood. Yeah. Hopefully that's a little bit better. You know, I got to invest in a new green screen. These cloth ones, you have to keep them taut, right? And I have little sand weights that hold down the bottom and kind of try to keep them taut. But when they fold like that, they get shadows, and then that's what those are the artifacts. But thanks for pointing that out. Chris says, I thought black swans are those things you can't predict, the unknown unknowns. That's exactly right. So that's one of the reasons why I was like, you know, I don't know. With all that weed, you'd think you'd be happier. Have I really given you the impression that I'm not happy? I'm ecstatic every day. When I wake up, I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm up. I'm alive. Another day. I get to play some more. I am super happy all the time. Got a great life, got a great family, loving wife, kids, grown, dogs, nice house, property, friends. What's not to be happy? I am super happy. I just like to yell a lot. That makes me happy too. Okay, GT Mark IV, how you doing? Hey Ernie, what do you think of the Spratly Islands that the Chinese built? I've heard of it, but I'm not really familiar, so I wish I could comment. Maybe I'll take a look at it. You have called an Xmas rally. Do you think that crypto will also follow or correlate? That's what this Crypto Mike. Haven't you not seen the title of this show? Have you not seen the beautiful thumbnail I made for this video? Did you not? Well, maybe you weren't here in the beginning, but basically I'm saying crypto bad, market good. Crypto's going to crash, and I showed all the charts. I showed them all. See, there's crypto. Bad. Here's the market. Good. That's an anti-correlation. What is my favorite strain? I don't think that you can have a favorite. I particularly prefer indica dominant strains, but there are so many that I like, and they're all different for very many different purposes. So, and for different reasons. So I don't have really a favorite, and there's new ones coming out all along. So it used to be, you know, when we didn't know anything about weed, back in the 70s, 80s, 90s, you know, you were just happy to get whatever you could get. And if you could get some Sinsemilla, the seedless, that was like a bonus. These days, nobody has seeds in their weed. Everything's Sinsemilla or seedless. Everything. So it's a completely different world. Plus, I don't really smoke the weed anymore. I smoke, or I inhale the vapor, where I get the concentrate and do the concentrate. The concentrate is so much better. Better for you, too. Joe B. saw a video on Bitcoin futures and the effect of these futures. Uh-oh, someone talking about the effect of the futures. When they say there is a finite amount, that's a lie, just like gold and the gold futures. Yeah. If there's anybody in the cryptoverse that's talking about futures, I can guarantee you that they might as well just be sticking their ass up into the microphone and farting. Because there you'll get just about the same quality of advice. I haven't seen a single person in the cryptoverse that knows what the hell they're talking about when it comes to futures or markets in general. technical analysis, fundamental analysis. They're all idiots. It's one of the most... Oh, man, it is so bad. Let's see, we're about a minute and a half into the game, and it's 0-0. It looks like the Vikings went 3 and out. And the Pats are going to... And Edelman's back there to receive the punt. What will happen? Out of bounds. Short kick. All right. What will happen to the market if Trump gets impeached? He's not going to get impeached. There's no friggin' way he's going to get impeached. For what? He's done nothing wrong. All I says, only hit rosin myself now, too, for over 2 years. More pure, better on the lungs, no carcinogens, and all the benefits. Yeah, and the taste. And the terps. Oof. Frank Run says, I listened to Richard Hart. He mentioned that a bubble need to test the high of the previous bubble, which is 1070 in Bitfinex. 1070. A bubble needs to test a previous bubble high. Sure, why not? I really have no idea. Is that true? No, because I've seen bubbles not test the highs before. A bubble is every bubble is a little bit different. Some bubbles, how high they go is indeterminate because that all depends on, how much the fever pitch gets to. But I don't think that has anything to do with a previous bubble because there's so little that's actually traded during that final push up that there's really nothing to to set up a supply and demand issue on future bubbles. Not enough liquidity there. So beautiful. Nice pass to Edelman. All right. Oh, I see. 2014 Bitcoin hit 10, so it's got to hit the bottom. I see what he's saying. I don't know that that's true either. I mean, of course, he can make up anything that he wants in this market. I don't know that it's true in other markets. So, sure, why not, if that's what he thinks. But I've been talking about $1,000 Bitcoin, and yeah, I truly believe that we're going to get down there. So let me just say that Richard Hart, he's a smart guy. He's a scammer, but he's a smart guy. He's interesting, fun to watch. Dress is really weird, but I like to listen to him, and I will take some of his analysis with a little bit more seriousness than I do with most other people in the crypto world, only because he is smart. But on the other hand, I think that he's in constant scam mode. So there's that. All right. It has been an hour, and I like to make it a point to try to keep these shows at an hour or less, although the last 2 shows have gone a little bit more. But what I do want to say is thank you very much for joining me. Really appreciate it. It's time to go watch some football. That's American football, not soccer. Not that pussy game. But the real football. Yeah, Chris, I believe the same thing, that he's entertaining. Asdert, what is your 1K Bitcoin price prediction based on? Tyler Jenks was the hyperwave. I base it, I don't do hyperwaves, I don't do hopium, I don't do the last bubble or anything like that. I do supply and demand. Pretty much, you look at the volume profile, you can see where there were previous people that people are holding positions, and you know where the support and resistance are. That's basically what I base that on. But you know, it's all probability too. I don't think it's not like a certainty that it will go down to 1,000. Maybe it will go there. Maybe it won't reach there. Maybe it will go beyond that. I have no idea. But where it settles in, around 1,000, seems to have a great deal of value associated with that from years past. So that's why I choose it. And that's the only reason. It's all strictly a supply and demand issue. So yes, before you go, make sure you smash that like button down below. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm going to do 2 shows. I'm going to see if I can continue this sort of 11 to 11. Maybe I might call it the 11 to 11 show, because 2 11s. And yeah, we'll see you then. Again, the market is going to gap up today big time. Be ready for it. I'm telling you, market's gapping. It's going to be a big week in the market. I am not going to start accumulating Bitcoin for quite some time. All right. All right, everyone. Thank you very much. Muchly thanks. We'll see you next time. All right, now I have to find... I should time this with getting all this stuff together, because now I have to find where I turned this. Oh, there it is. Bye! Oh, gotta hit the OK button.